Hey everybody, and welcome back to E&W Farms. Today we're going to be starting on the 4640 that we just brought in the last video. So hopefully you went back and watched us getting this tractor. We'll look at this tractor and try to figure out what year model and stuff it is whenever we get in a little further in this video. First thing first, we're going to figure out, you heard me say in the last video that we need return line tees. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. So if you're new here, thanks for subscribing. We've had a big subscriber jump from the last video. That video hit pretty hard, and so it's jumped pretty good. So welcome to E&W Farms. I'm Evan. I'll be the main person you see here, but we're third generation beef cattle operation, and we run a hay operation and plant some corn too, but just real small scale stuff. So thanks for stopping in. Let's get started. Okay, so these are the return line tees here. This one here, if you look close enough, you'll see that's the one that was spraying. It's split. These are notorious for doing this. And so we've got to start up here in the front, and we're going to replace all of them. So we need 7 to do what we need to do. You can see somebody thought zip ties were great to crimp that down. We've got new worm gear clamps. We're going to take all this off. We'll start with brand new stuff. And so we've ordered our tees. These are not John Deere's. I may pay for this in the long run, but these are eBay specials. But got a couple of new packs of them. See them maybe with a glare on them. So, all right, let me put you up on the tripod and I'm gonna get started. I've not ever done this on a 40 series. We had to do it on the 4230 back when I first started filming, the very first year. We had to do this. When I went and loaded this tractor the other day, that tee was spraying fuel so bad, it was raining down from the top of the hood and everywhere. It was just pouring fuel. So a few things that I found wrong with the old tractor. Transmission will not go into park on the power shift lever, but I think I have figured out why. Down underneath the cab on the right hand side, really they didn't. Down underneath the cab on the right hand side, where the cables go in the side of the transmission housing, one of the forks is bent, or the cable is actually bent on the end. Trying to figure out why they had electrical tape wrapped around that line. Probably because it had a leak in it, but I don't know, we'll know more here in a minute. But right down in this area, down in here, is where that cable goes in. But it's bent, and so I think that's what's actually keeping it from going into park. And if it is, I'm gonna try to just bend it, heat it up and bend it. See that guy out there where he's busted all the pieces. I'm gonna try to start at the back and work my way up to the front here. Got brand new worm gear clamps. You need worm gear clamps. Here's your Napa part number. This is like a giant jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so one thing I just noticed there on that one, that is the number 6 injector. And to be sure in the number 6 injector that you get the dummy plug for the end of the rail out. Be a heck of a note if you didn't. Put all new clips on there and still be leaking diesel. So there's the little plug. I'm gonna go ahead and then insert it in there. Okay. Also gonna go ahead and put me a brand new worm gear clamp on there. And this is our pipe from 5 to 6. Same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and they make a brass kit that comes with brass fittings and pipes. It's about $150 to do it that way. I started to do that, but I didn't really want to wait. Okay. Sure to put this one here on. There's not a lot of room to work there, so I actually pushed it down below it. You're going to want to wait and tighten that clamp up when you get it up on, because you're going to have to turn that clamp where it's not hitting that injector line. that. Put our number 6 one back on. Before we do, other worm gear clamp. Can y'all see me? Maybe you can. Also got a brand new ignition key for this tractor. You heard me talk about in the last video, somebody had stole the ignition switch out of it for whatever reason. The dash is all busted up in it. But ain't nothing but parts. Right, you can see that one installed back in there. So we're putting worm gear clamps here and here, and there's the dummy plug. We used the original clamp for there. Same thing, worm gear there, here. We'll put our new pipe in from 5 to 4. Same thing, 3 new worm gear clamps here, moving on to the front. So I'm gonna turn you off. I'm not gonna bore you by showing you every move, and I'll turn you back on when I get them back on. All right, I'm gonna show you something right here. If you're doing this, you better pay close attention to. So we've been coming from the back to the front, from 6, 5, 4. We should be going to 3, but I'm gonna hold up on 3 right there. I'm gonna go ahead and come up here to be the number 2. So this will be the line between 2 and 1, and this is back over to the actual injection pump here. The reason why is because if I don't go ahead and do these here on the front, I'm not gonna be able to force these in. There's not going to be no way to move them. So I'm going to go ahead and take the T on 1, go ahead and do the return T here, and then I'll do 2 and 3 and connect 3 and 4 up together. Man, I sound like the eye doctor. Better 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 3 or 4. Is this one better than the last one? It's clear now. How about now? Does this change anything? What about now? Anyways, sorry, squirrel. But I'm gonna go ahead and change these out here. I just wanted to point that out to you if you're doing this. Okay, here's something else you may have to do. You can see this hose was up like this, and it had had this pulled really bad the last time before I took those off. And so I actually need a 9/16 wrench. You're gonna crack this off, and then you can roll that over there. Before I do that, I need to put us another worm gear clamp on. And that'll help you not be pulling on that return line the way they had it pulled on it. We're also going to set it up a little higher. Something like so. Like that. And I'll tighten this back down when I get done. And that'll help us get everything straight in there. We won't be pulling as much on these lines across through here. So another little tip. All right, so you can see got all our new T's in, new worm gear clamps. There's a new one there. Got that job all buttoned up. tightened our line back up, so we're good there. You can see we got an oil leak here. It's either coming out of the blow-by tube or something. The tractor needs a good bath, so I'm gonna give it a good bath. Right here is where I was talking about. See this cable here? Maybe you can see it in comparison to this one. This is what it should look like. It's creased right here. More than likely what I figure has happened, I think there was actually supposed to be maybe a guard here. I seen a picture of one the other day and it had a guard there. But this is bent, and so when you pull the handle back to pull it into the park position in the on the shifter up in the cab, it can't because it's hitting here. So this needs to be laid more out like that. So I hope that I can take a cutting torch and heat this guy right here and maybe grab a hold of this with a pair of pliers or something and bend it back to where it looks like this. This cable's $300. So it's broke like it is. If we heat it up and bend it and it gets it to where it'll work, we save $300. Looks like up through there we got some hydraulic residue from something. I noticed too the other day, I think they cut the heater hoses because they were leaking, which I don't care if the heat works or not. I just want air conditioning. The back of the tractor, you see all of our remotes, they're all leaking. We'll have to update them, which we'll just go to a Grove or a Wasp conversion, do away with the John Deere style. See, there's our placard. So there's our serial number. I'll run that in just a minute and see what your model it is. Old tractor's been pulled pretty hard over the years. Drawbars wore pretty good, but I really don't care about drawbar. If we can make it run out, it'll go on the mower conditioner. It's got the horsepower we need to do that, and it's got the optional lift assist, which in this series is standard. There's the nose cone where it's busted out. We bought some John Deere weights up, and I've actually got 3 or 4 more I'm gonna slap on the front. We got an oil leak up here in the front. I don't know how much of that was from when I cracked that hose right in there. But there again, tractor just needs a good bath. Got a new breather cover for the pipe coming. Just odd and end stuff. Started taking the cover off the air conditioner. It's all bent. Hope to get that taken care of. But there'll be more videos to come on this bad boy. All right, that's gonna do us for tonight. Just a short clip. So thanks for watching E&W Farms. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps you if you got a 4640 or I think some of the later 4440s are this way too. But I think T-fittings and all, there's about $30 worth of parts there. If you buy it from Deere, there's no telling what it costs, but I got about 30 bucks in it. So thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you in the next video.